It's a relatively familiar face to those in the espresso world with a new name that's different yet the same. And the sort of new name, yeah, it's just the beginning of the upgrades to one of the more distinctive prosumer level espresso machines. Hey espresso lovers, Mark here from Whole Latte Love. Today an in-depth look at Rocket Espresso's R Cinquantotto. Now if you don't know Italian, Cinquantotto translates to 58. So this is the new upgraded version of Rocket's vulnerable R58. Coming up in this video, important information regarding the owner's manual, something I found that most everyone who has reviewed this machine seems to have overlooked, but who reads manuals, right? Well, turns out I do. Beyond that, we'll have a look at results of Scace brew temperature test, technical specs for the machine. I'll talk about Rocket's design philosophy, cover the sleek new detachable touch display controller, we'll pull some shots, steam some milk, and a whole lot more. If you like to stay on brand, a quick look at Rocket's Faustino grinder and branded accessories like a tamping station, knockbox, and more. So real quick, I'm very familiar with the previous version of this machine. Here's a clip from a video on the R58 Todd and I did more than 8 years ago. At the time, we had one of the first R58s available in the US. Now, over the years, I've used it extensively, and it's consistently made our list of best dual boiler machines. For the R Cinquantotto update, the internals remain basically the same. The specs, this is a rotary pump dual boiler machine with PID temperature control of both boilers. The machine is plumbable direct to waterline or can run from reservoir. Both boilers are copper with a 1.8 liter capacity in the steam boiler and about 0.6 liters in the brew boiler. The group is E61, up front large valve, speed insulated, no burn wands, and like most Rocket machines, you're going to find that iconic R on the knob for the steam valve. There are individual gauges for steam pressure and brew pressure. Now set to the maximum temperature of 258 Fahrenheit. The steam boiler runs at about 1.4 bar of pressure. A big change up front is the inclusion of a subtle shot timer. When you lift the lever to pull a shot, the timer starts automatically. It's a feature found in a host of new Rocket machines with the chronometro designation. When not timing a shot, the waveform in that display indicates a boiler heating element is being energized by the PID controller. Some other noticeable changes versus the previous R58 are the edge-to-edge flat profile of the cup warming surface, a new cup rail design with some added branding, and a new design for the feet. Perhaps the biggest upgrade is the new touch display controller. You can run the machine with the display connected or do your setup and remove the display and the machine retains all the information. It's a much nicer setup than on the previous R58. The Cinquantotto has a solid mount for the display, which has an up angle for easy viewing and works well if you decide to leave it attached to the machine. Part of the Rocket design philosophy are machines free of digital displays. It was only the last year or so that Rocket started adding shot timers to some of their products like this one and their chronometro line of heat exchange boiler machines. The display attaches with this serial cable and the machine should be powered off when attaching or removing the cable. The sleek, dark, high-resolution touch display is a huge improvement over the low-resolution monochrome screen of the previous model. Shot timing appears in the display during extractions. On the home page is all the information on machine status, indications for boiler heating, the eco mode and water level, then temperature settings for the brew and service boiler and date and time down at the bottom. Changing boiler temps is easy. Just touch the one you want to change and use the plus and minus symbols to set. The red arcs indicate where the current set temperature is in relation to the entire range for the setting. Pressing the three dots gets you into the menu. You can set boiler temps here as well, choose between Celsius and Fahrenheit, and disable the service boiler. Eco mode, when turned on, puts the machine in standby, which turns off the boilers 90 minutes after the last shot. In calendar, you can set up 2 on-off times per day. To do that, first activate the calendar, then you can go in and set those times. Very nice that you can turn those off and on globally if, say, you're going to be away from home. Inlet water selects your water source from tank or water supply. In the box with a Cinquantotto, some unique accessories you don't get with most machines, like an actual usable tamper and an extra steam tip. The standard tip has 1.5 millimeter holes and the optional tip has 1.2 millimeter holes. Both tips are 2-hole. The smaller hole tip is what I'd call balanced in that it can steam indefinitely. In my test, the balanced steam tip dropped boiler pressure to 1.1 bar after 16 seconds of steaming, then remained there indefinitely. With bigger holes, the standard tip dropped to 1 bar at 15 seconds and reached 0.6 bar after an extended 3 minutes of steam. Tip choice is a personal preference, but with a Cinquantotto, you've got options right out of the box. Remaining accessories include single and double spout portafilters, single and double shot baskets, plus a blind basket for back flushing, cleaning tablets for back flushing, a group brush, braided stainless line with 3/8 inch fitting for US standard plumbing, and a drain line. On top of that, a USB thumb drive with manuals and how-tos, a polishing cloth, and an excellent user manual. Now, about that user manual. On initial setup of the machine, I discovered an error, one that seems to have somehow been overlooked by others reviewing this machine. I reached out to Rocket, and they've confirmed the error, and they did send me a PDF file of the corrected user manual. It's not really a big deal, but just something to be aware of. Here's the issue. Until now, all Rocket PID machines have used the actual in-boiler temp to set a desired brew temp. So you use a chart in the manual to convert your desired brew temp to the temperature the boiler needs to be set to get that temperature at the group. That approach was different than what other manufacturers do because the actual in-boiler temp is always much hotter than the brew water temp delivered at the group. Other manufacturers program an offset. I confirmed with Rocket that the R Cinquantotto is using an offset, so ignore the manual. If incorrect, page 25 will look like this if it is. And set your desired brew temp on the touch display. On PID machines, I always do my own Scace testing to make sure what you set is what you'll get for brew temps. Spent a number of hours running tests, and I'm satisfied the machine provides the accurate brew temps one should expect for a machine at this level. My testing backs up Rocket's own. Now, at my request, they pulled a random machine from production a couple days ago, ran tests, and provided these results. With the PID set to 197 Fahrenheit, that's 92 Celsius, 10 tests were performed. As you can see, temperatures during each 30-second extraction were very consistent. To get the big picture, I averaged the 10 average values of the test and got a result of 198.2 Fahrenheit, which is 92.3 degrees Celsius. Now, 0.3 of a degree Celsius from the program temperature is an excellent result. A second set of tests were performed with a PID set to 203 Fahrenheit, that's 95 Celsius, with similar results. Once again, temperatures during each extraction were very stable, actually incredibly good after the first 3 shots. Now, averaging the average values for these tests gave a result of 202.4 Fahrenheit and 94.7 Celsius. Once again, 0.3 of a degree Celsius off the program value, and that indicates excellent brew temperature accuracy. This is the kind of accuracy one should expect from a PID machine, and the Cinquantotto delivers. If looking for a grinder to pair with this machine, Rocket's Faustino is a solid choice. It mirrors a new slabbier style of the machine and continues with matching details like a deep black touch display controller. Use a link up here or down in the description for my full review of the Faustino. Beyond that, a bunch of Rocket branded accessories including a knockbox, tamping station, frothing pitchers, cups, and more are available for a cohesive look. The R Cinquantotto is an excellent dual boiler espresso machine. I like the revisions and upgrades from the R58, like the flush finishing of the top surface, the thicker cup rail, new design for the feet, and especially the beautiful new touch display controller. It extends the machine's capabilities beyond the original with features like programmable on-off times, eco mode, and more. Now, if you have questions on this machine or anything coffee, use those comments and I'd be happy to get you a detailed answer. I'm Mark. Thanks for watching. I do hope you'll subscribe and come back soon for more of the best on everything coffee, brought to you by Whole Latte Love.